Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite cryptocurrency projects, that of course being EOS. Now, EOS is a very interesting token, it's a very interesting protocol, and it's a very interesting project, and if you've been watching the market cap, if you've been watching CoinMarketCap for the last couple of days, you will have known that EOS jumped over 42% in the span of 24 hours, just a few days ago. And when that happened, it kind of brought the rest of the market with it. And as you can see here on the 24-hour price action, or on the 24-hour price graphs, this nice little jump in EOS kind of happened first, and then the rest of the market just continued to follow it. The rest of the market was already building up into this, but EOS really just, you know, it pulled the trigger, and the rest of the market continued to follow. EOS jumped quite a bit, even surpassing Litecoin for the 5th position for a little while. EOS was actually worth more than Litecoin for a little while, which you don't see that happen very often. Litecoin, the lowest I remember, it was dropping down here to 9th place. I think EOS was above it at that time. But EOS has been doing really well in the last couple of days, so that's why we're going to be talking about it in today's video. But if you enjoyed today's video, you should definitely think about dropping a like and subscribing, because I make a lot of cryptocurrency videos, guys, and isn't that why you're here, for crypto content? Alright, let's get into it. EOS is currently trading just over $8. Its all-time high is around $18 if my memory serves me correctly. Let's come here and check that. It's still quite a bit down from its all-time high. Not over Bitcoin. We'll be getting to that in a second, but okay, yeah, see, that's why I want to check this. No, it is 18. I thought it was 18. See, I get Neo, and I get the all-time highs for Neo and EOS mixed up. It's 160 for Neo, 18 for EOS. There we go. Got it. The market capitalization for EOS is currently right around $6.5 billion. Its circulating supply is 800 million because the ICO isn't even finished, guys. I forgot to mention that. The EOS ICO isn't even over yet. Let's get the EOS.io up real quick and show you that. The EOS ICO isn't even over yet. It's going to be ending in June, so you can come on the EOS ICO and buy your EOS for $1 per token up until mid-June. I think the token registration begins on June the 1st, and the EOS and the ICO itself actually ends a little bit later in the month. But yeah, so the circulating supply is around 800 million. It's eventually going to go up, or 800 million. It's eventually going to go up to 900 million, with 100 million being reserved for the creators, if I understand correctly. So let's get on to the EOS chart. So the first thing I noticed when I was looking at this chart, and this is EOS over Bitcoin, the first thing I noticed with this chart is that we have a double top here. This is EOS over Bitcoin. I think I said that. I think I said US dollar. This is EOS over Bitcoin, and as you can see here, we had this nice little spike. This is the little 42% jump we were talking about a couple days ago. This happened, and that was crazy. That brought the entire market with it. EOS is kind of correcting a little bit now, but something that I noticed with this is that we do have a very strong double top, and you could even argue a triple top if you want to call that a definitive top. But we have a pretty strong double or triple top, however you want to call it. And this chart actually reminded me of something, and it reminded me of another protocol token. It reminded me of Ethereum. It reminded me of this chart right here. As you can see, Ethereum had a very similar price action, a very similar graph in the second half of 2017. What we saw with Ethereum is it ran up from absolutely nothing, which is what EOS did. EOS ran up from nothing. Let's get both these charts up here side by side. EOS ran up from basically nothing. I remember seeing it around 50 to 60 to 70 cents back here when Ethereum was doing all of this crazy stuff. And EOS ran up quite a bit after that. It ran up around 30 times from that 60 cents to that $18. That's a 30x growth, and Ethereum was doing a very similar thing. And another reason this is interesting is because Ethereum is also a protocol token. These two cryptocurrencies are in direct competition with each other, you understand. So they are both trying to do very similar things with smart contracts and different things relating to that. So it's actually it's very interesting to see this similar pattern on EOS as we've seen on Ethereum. If we were to see the similar pattern on Ethereum or on EOS play out, what we would probably see is we would see this double top form, and we would see an uptrend here where we get a lower or a higher low right here, and then form this nice bullish consolidation pattern as we saw here on Ethereum. As you can see, that's what this is. It was a bullish consolidation pattern. As we had a double top here at $400, and we had an uptrend here that we eventually broke bullish out of and gained $1,000 in valuation, which was very great for us Ethereum holders. Well, I don't hold too much Ethereum, but I am technically an Ethereum holder, so I guess we can say us Ethereum holders. I'm also an EOS holder because I'm a big fan of the project. EOS, I think, is a very interesting project. I've talked about it, not quite a bit, but I've talked about it a few times on the channel. I think I really like what they're doing. I think Dan Larimer is a very intelligent person, and I really like where it's going. EOS, Neo, and Ethereum are the three big protocol tokens, and I really enjoy the idea of investing in the actual infrastructure rather than the product. So imagine this: if you could invest in companies that build the internet, well, if you could invest in the search engine rather than what is on the search engine, wouldn't you want to invest in the search engine? I would imagine that Google, if you invested in Google, you would get bigger returns than if you invested in something that showed up on their search engine, because you're investing in the infrastructure, and the infrastructure can reach out and touch everything. Well, not everything, but it can touch quite a bit more than just the product itself can. So that's why I really like the idea of investing in protocol tokens, and that's why the top 6 places here, 3 of them, including Ripple, are protocol tokens. I mean, Ripple is, XRP is the token, Ripple is the company. You could call that a protocol token. It's kind of an infrastructure thing. It's not the same thing as Ethereum and EOS. They work with banks and international money transfers, but it's a similar system. And that's also why currencies are very high, because currencies aren't too specific. So guys, when you're investing in cryptocurrencies, it's good to look for cryptocurrencies that don't have a very specific niche goal, because you can build a broader cryptocurrency like Ethereum or EOS that can have decentralized applications of smart contracts built on top of them that can do those niche things, while also being a broader token that can grow more because you can do a lot more on them, which is why currencies and protocol tokens just clog the top 10 here. IOTA, NEO, EOS, Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all of those are either currencies or protocol tokens because they have a lot more room to grow. Anyway, getting back to EOS, let's do a little bit more technical analysis here on EOS. As you can see, the MACD is showing bullish. We are getting above this 0 level on the MACD. And here on the RSI, we did get oversold right down here when we set this little pivot point for this, what is probably going to become an uptrend. We'll hopefully see that form in the next couple of weeks. You could actually draw an uptrend right here. Ugh, my chart's messing with me. Oh, good lord, go away. I didn't ask you to do that. You could arguably draw a trend line right there. There's nothing wrong with drawing that trend line there, but I'm expecting to see something a little bit different. Although you could draw that and then expect a pullback right here. This vertical line rather represents June the 1st, which is when the token registration for EOS begins, because currently EOS is an ERC20 token, which means it runs on the Ethereum network, which is kind of interesting because it's in direct competition with Ethereum. But once the registration begins, you'll be able to register your EOS ERC20 tokens for the EOS protocol, and you'll actually get EOS protocol tokens, which will probably spike in price when that happens, which will start here in June. So look out for a lot of price action on EOS in June when the actual product itself comes out. Guys, this token went all the way up to 5th place, and it isn't even launched yet. It's still an ICO. Now, there's a big debate there. Or let me finish the RSI thing first. The RSI pulled back and it got overextended down here. It went very bearish here on the RSI, and now we have jumped significantly into oversold territory on the RSI, kind of similar to how we did back here when we first ran up to 130,000 Satoshis. Alright, so what was I talking about? I was talking about the possibility that EOS may be overvalued. So guys, it's important to realize that when a currency, or when a cryptocurrency, when a blockchain, when a project, when a protocol, when a token, when a coin, whatever, is this high on CoinMarketCap and worth $6.5 billion, or any valuation, actually, it's a good idea to step back and say, okay, before I invest in this, is this worth the price that I'm paying for it, especially over Bitcoin? Because with cryptocurrencies, we like to value our cryptocurrencies over Bitcoin rather than over US dollars. The reason I use Ethereum over US dollars and Litecoin over US dollars is because a lot of people trade those two currencies over US dollars. But most of the other altcoins are traded over Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, we want to grow our Bitcoin valuation, not our US dollar valuation. Because if you grow your Bitcoin valuation, then you're growing more than you are growing your US dollar valuation anyway. So it's good to take a step back and say, okay, before I invest in this, is this worth what I'm paying for it? And is there room for it to grow even more so that I can make a profit? If that's why you're investing, if you're here for the technology, which I am too, but if you're here for the technology, I guess you don't need to worry about it. But if you're here for the gains, like most of us are, and like you are, you're lying to me if you're saying you're not, then you want to step back and you want to say, hey, is this project worth what I'm paying for it? I think EOS is worth $8.17. I think it is worth $6.5 billion because I think EOS is going to be a direct competitor to Ethereum, and I could see it up here in the 3rd or 4th position if they deliver on what they say they're going to deliver on, and they start getting adoption, which, guys, that's a 50-50. I'm not totally sure they will. I can't see the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I say this on the channel a lot. Don't listen to my advice because I don't know what I'm talking about all the time. I can't see the future. There are plenty of unforeseen circumstances that may come up that I don't know about. but I am personally invested in EOS because I have seen it go to $18. It is somewhere around the same retracement level from all-time high that Bitcoin and several other cryptocurrencies are. It's doing better than Ethereum is in this bear market, and it's not even out of ICO yet, guys. So I am pretty bullish on EOS. I am a fan of EOS, and I think it's a decent investment. I'm not saying it's the best investment of any cryptocurrency you could buy. There's a lot of better cryptocurrencies. A lot of people talk about Neblio, which is down here like 98th right now, 99. That's an interesting project. You should look into Neblio. I may do a video on Neblio. But I think EOS is a decent investment. It is important to look at the technicals and say, okay, well, is now a good time to buy? We'll say that, and then we'll wrap up the video. Right now, guys, I would probably not buy EOS. To be totally honest, I think EOS is a great long-term hold. I think a year more, 6 months more, even a month and a half more when this ICO finishes, I could easily see us jumping up here to 200,000 Satoshis. I could see that happening. I'm not saying it's going to. I could see it happening. But in the short term, it's probably not the best idea to buy into this because we are somewhat overextended here. The RSI is up here right around 60, 65. That is pretty overextended, and we want to pull back a little bit, touch this trend line that I've kind of drawn here, or establish another one like down here somewhere around the 80 to 90,000 Satoshi level. We want to establish a nice little uptrend on EOS. We have those on several of the cryptocurrencies, and they're very, very, very strong. If you've watched some of my technical analysis videos on Bitcoin, you will know that that long-term uptrend I talk about there is ridiculously strong. We want to form a very strong uptrend on EOS. So look for this trend line that I've drawn here, or something similar to this. This trend line isn't set in stone. This is just kind of one that I've drawn, although it does seem to be pretty accurate. There actually are 4 touches here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So look for a pullback somewhere around 70, 80, 90,000 Satoshis, and then probably dollar cost average in to that bottom, because guys, I think a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency bull market, and in turn an EOS bull market, is going to be coming in Q2 and especially in Q3 of 2018. Anyway, guys, I hope I have brought you some value in this video. If I have, you should definitely drop a comment, because I love reading you guys' comments. I don't ask you guys to comment enough. I love reading your comments. It's the best thing about making YouTube videos. I'm not even kidding. I love reading your comments. I read each and every one of those. So for all you haters out there who think that I don't read them, I do. And I laugh, because I love it when people make fun of me. It's really funny, because you're bad at it. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you should definitely think about dropping a like and subscribing. And if you want to buy EOS, the best place to do so is on Binance. That's where I buy my EOS. And if I understand correctly, Binance is actually going to be doing the registration of EOS tokens for you. So that's a bonus. If you want to sign up for Binance, put your EOS tokens in there. You want to fact check me on this before you do this, but if you want to put your EOS tokens in there, the way I understand it, they will register it for you without you having to do anything, which is very nice. I know you can do it on Exodus Wallet also. But anyway, guys, I've rambled enough. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.